to the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. My name is Scott. If you're new to this channel and you're looking for reviews of different whiskeys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit the bell notification. That's simply going to alert you to when I'm doing new uploads or live streams. So today from the Spirit of French Lick out of West Baden Springs, Indiana, this is going to be what they're calling the Wheater. This is a mash bill of 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. It's coming in at 90 proof or 45% ABV. And just a little bit about this. So what this is a blend. So this is going to be a 7-year sourced wheated bourbon that's then blended with their 2-year wheated distillate. So they are sourcing part of it and then blending some of their distillate there. And you have to know, so their master distiller or head distiller there, Alan Bishop, is doing some really incredible things. And I think this is going to be one of those distilleries that we need to keep an eye on and really see what they've got coming kind of down the pipe a little bit. So they've done some great things. And you can see up here, they've got a lot of different things. So they just released an apple brandy, which is an authentic style apple brandy. And they do have, which I reviewed already, the Lee W. Sinclair, which is a 4-year bourbon, or 4-year bourbon. And then this here is a 3-year, I believe, high rye. That's not quite been released yet, but will be coming soon. So keep an eye out for them. They're doing some really fantastic things. So again, this is a blend of 7-year sourced wheated whiskey and 2-year their own wheated distillate. So MSRP on this, I believe, from what I could find, was right around that $40 price point. So typically what I try to do with most or all of my reviews is we'll go through the appearance, we'll nose it, taste it, get into the finishing aspects, and then discuss really anything else having to do with the whiskey itself. So, all right, let's go ahead and we'll kind of get into the review. So first, what I try to do with a lot or most of my reviews is kind of move the whiskey around in the glass. Not only does it help open it up a little bit, but it lets you kind of see some of the legs, like kind of how oily the whiskey is. And this really has some nice kind of thick, heavy legs on it. So that's something you really like to see in a whiskey, just because that kind of gives you the impression that it's going to be, again, nice and oily, which results in it being nicely, kind of coating the mouth. So, all right, let's get into the nose here. So right away, of course, with it being a wheated whiskey, you get kind of that soft note to it right away. Nice vanilla note to it. Really nice, actually, kind of like a baking spice to it as well. Without there being any rye or anything in this, still a really nice spice to that. Nice caramel note. Actually, a really nice rich caramel note. Bit of like a nutmeg type of note. And then with a lot of the wheated bourbons, for some reason, I get this kind of like burnt sugar type of note a lot of times. And I'm getting that here. And still some of that floral aspect to it with it being a wheated bourbon. But still with that nice kind of spice to it. And maybe that's some of the barrel influence. I know this is going in at a char level number 2 with toasted heads on it. So something a little bit different. And you're still getting some of that corn aspect, of course. All right, let's get into the taste, which is the most important thing. So, cheers. So for me, right away, the first thing I kind of pick up is this burnt sugar spice kind of aspect to it. More spice than I would think, would be there, especially on a wheated bourbon, without there being any rye that's there. Really nice rich vanilla note to it. That rich caramel is there. Very oily, nice. Coats the mouth really well as well. Getting those like brown sugars or burnt sugar is there as well. But again, I keep coming back to that spice that's there. It's really, really nice. And I think this has a little bit to do with the fact that this is like a pot still distillation as well. So sometimes that can change up the profile, just because there's far more bourbons or whiskeys that are produced out there through column still than pot still. So you get a little bit of that kind of, if you taste it, kind of some of that pot still funk a little bit to it. So some of that corn presence kind of coming out in it. Little hint of black pepper there on the mid to the back of the palate. But again, fairly sweet. Those burnt sugars, that kind of caramel, vanilla, those are very, very predominant with this one. It's, I hate to use the term smooth, but it's nice and smooth and creamy, oily, kind of coats the mouth really, really well. Some of that kind of light oak is there. It's not heavy on the oak side, but again, really nice, a nice sweetness to it, but a good spice there on it as well. So really, really nice sipping wheated bourbon. So I think they've done a really, really nice job. And like I said, I've tasted a lot of bourbons and a lot of whiskeys, and there's just something different and unique about what Alan Bishop is doing over there, that he's really producing some really, really nice whiskey. So again, I'll want to kind of keep an eye on what it is they're doing with their stuff. So finish wise, I would say with this is probably on, more of the kind of the medium side of things. Still finishes with that nice kind of sweetness where you get the caramels and the vanillas, but that spice kind of really seems to continue to linger. And as I've kind of continued to talk, or it's sat there on the palate a little bit more of that kind of nutmeg starts to kind of come through in it a little bit, with a little bit of that light kind of kind of floral aspect to it as well. So a really, really nice, balanced whiskey. I mean, again, for 90 proof, it's really easy to sip, but still gives you a really nice kind of spicy sweetness overall to it. So if it's something that is distributed in your area, consider picking it up. I think they're doing a really, really nice job. And like I said before, I think for me, it's something I'll kind of keep my eye on to continue to watch and see where they kind of go with different things. Just knowing what he's kind of producing over there kind of leaves me very curious to kind of keep an eye on that. So with that being said, so again, this is going to be considered their weeder, or something they're calling the weedered from the Spirits of French Lick out of West Baden Springs, Indiana. So I want to say thank you again for tuning into another one of my reviews. And as always, please like, subscribe, leave comments. Let me know, are you familiar with the Spirit of French Lick? Some of their brands. Have you tried some of their different whiskeys that they have to offer, or their apple brandy that they just released not long ago? I'm always curious to hear people's thoughts on the particular whiskeys that I'm reviewing. So in addition, if you'd like to support or help contribute to the channel, you can through my Patreon page, which I'll have linked in the description below. Also in that description, there's a few other things if you'd like to check out merchandise stuff, things along those lines. And then also, and like I say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.